Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and before I get this ball rolling, I would just like to explain how this all came about. Basically, I joined my BTO Telegram group, which I'm sure that if you did a BTO and you joined their Facebook group, eventually someone's going to create a Telegram group from it and everyone's going to share shit inside the Telegram group, and basically you're going to learn a lot of things, and I did. So one of the things that I learned was that a lot of people inside the group were trying to do their own 3D visualizations, which of course I did mention in another video that it's very important. So one common thing that I noticed was that all of them were using very weird 3D softwares. So they were buying like $2 3D softwares from Steam. They were trying out Google SketchUp Pro. Some were paying money for some weird softwares I've never heard about. Some people were even using The Sims to visualize their house. Nothing wrong with that, totally fine. But I do have an alternative, and I feel like I had to tell people about this software because seriously, it does freaking everything. So yeah, this is basically how it all happened. But here's a disclaimer, which I would like to say is that I am not an ID, and basically I don't have interior design training, okay? So I'm not suggesting that you're not going to have to look for an ID. You know, I'm not going to even suggest that 3D is an easy thing, because it's not. You know, in my previous video I did mention that 3D has a very wide range of difficulty, so it's not easy, but I'm going to try and make it as easy as I can for you. Yeah, and I'll be basically explaining concepts. You know, you can ask me questions in the comments, but I'm really going to just try and help you build your visualization for your own HDB flat. And that's all I'm gonna do on this channel here, on this playlist. Alright, so welcome to part 1 of how to model your home in 3D. Alright, so we're gonna use this software called Blender. It's number 1, absolutely free. You never have to pay anything for it. Maybe some plugins, yes, but you're gonna do everything inside for free. I'm gonna teach you all the free stuff you can use, so you don't have to spend a single cent on this software or even the plugins. So everything I teach you in this set of tutorials, completely free. So no excuse, right? No excuse. Not a single cent. Maybe except your electricity bill. And if you want to try the VR stuff that I mentioned in the previous video, then yeah, probably you got to buy an Oculus Quest. But everything else is completely free. Number 1, okay, it's an all-in-one software, so it means that it does modeling, lighting, rendering, compositing, video editing. Yes, it does that. Everything is completely free in one software. So I mean, seriously, you gotta learn Blender, okay? Every time you see this logo here, yeah, this is the Blender logo with my awesome drawing. So it does all of that for free. I'm going to explain to you what are these things in the tutorial later. So, you know, don't worry about this right now, right? Lots of free plugins. Plugins are sort of like add-ons, you know, because the software is good, right? But you want to make it greater. So you got to add on extra stuff that helps you work faster and quicker and smarter. So those are plugins, and lots of them are free. The community is great. You know, if you go and ask the Blender community questions, you're gonna get answers really quickly, so that's great. I mentioned it is already in point number 1. It's free, it's free, it's free, it's free, it's freaking free, so there's really no excuse, okay? So just download Blender. Alright, we're gonna pop on to blender.org. Blender.org, this is the website. Don't go to any fake websites and download some malware, okay? So don't go to the wrong URL. It's blender.org, and you're gonna see this. Alright, at this point of this recording, it's Blender 2.93.1. Okay, so if you're gonna watch this in the future, maybe it's already Blender 3.0, who knows. Okay, but basically you're gonna click on this button, and you're gonna click on this button, and you're gonna download Blender and install. Alright, so that's what you are gonna do, and I've already done it, so I don't need to do it, but you gotta do it because it's completely free. When you install it, you don't have to put in your credit card number, nothing like that, nada. It's completely free, okay? Alright, so let me just go through the requirements for this software. Alright, for a moment I got a shock here when they said no installation needed. when I just told you to install it. But okay, so this is just for a USB stick. Okay, so it runs on a USB stick if you want as well. See, it's incredible. But yeah, you definitely need an internet connection to download this software. But this is what I want to bring your attention to, which it runs on Windows, Mac and Linux. But I really have to say this, that I have friends on Mac OS and it doesn't really work that well. So I would definitely suggest working on Windows for this one. And I am on Windows as well, so definitely just, you know, if you're gonna follow along, please use Windows. If you can't, it's fine. Mac OS is going to be a bit slower than I think the Windows one is, or a lot slower, but it still works, so don't worry about that. And basically these are your hardware requirements below, which these are really quite basic requirements in 2021. If you have something older than a 1280 by 768 display, but yeah, I think overall it's reasonable. You know, you get 3D software, 4 gigs of RAM. It's kind of low. I would suggest a bit more, but it's workable. You know, all you're doing is basically just a visualization, right? So you don't have to make it look super real, whatever. You just want to have a visualization of your home. That's all. Okay, so it can be totally gray shaded, simple textures. So you don't really need a lot of, you know, power on your computer. But one thing I would say is that your graphics card recommended is 1 gig of VRAM, which is your video memory, but I definitely suggest at least something more than 4, because some textures I'm going to use are quite high res, which is high resolution. So basically it's going to eat up this RAM, this video memory really quickly, so do take note of that. Otherwise, other than the RAM, I mean, these are just minimum requirements, right? So you definitely would want to go for the recommended hardware requirements. And one of the most important things is that you really need a 3-button mouse. For this entire tutorial, I'll be using a 3-button mouse, even though I have a tablet, right? So yeah, as you can see here, it also says graphic card with at least 4 gigs of RAM, which is recommended, and it's my recommendation as well. In fact, I think everything in the recommended list I would recommend as well. I mean, this is great. I mean, this is the optimal one, is really great. If you have this, wonderful, congratulations. But definitely at least try to hit the minimum recommended specs, which is this. Alright, so I think that's all I have for you right now. So please go ahead and download the software. It's absolutely free. Do not pay money to install it. Do not pay money at all. It's completely free. So just download the software and install it, and then we will start everything in the next video. Thank you.